Hey everybody, it is Tuesday and it's 2 o'clock, so that means it's time for Top 5 Tuesday. I'm your host from Crate Insider, I'm Kate Dillon, and we have some fun things to talk about this week. Of course, I love talking about all the awesome products that we have here at Crate Insider, and I also love giving little tech tips here and there too. So with that, I wanted to point out a few of the featured items, and these would be videos that we've put out in the last week since the last Top 5 Tuesday. One of those is we introduced the Walker Performance has come up with their own air filter base and lid for an air filter system, and we actually sold out of them right away. They're on back order right now, but we'll be getting those back in. I've got them on order, and when they come back in, then we'll have them available on the website again. But I really was surprised about the popularity of that just like so quickly. We haven't even had a chance to test it at all, and so anyway, just putting out the video, and clearly some people have really fallen in love with the Walker air filters and like their whole system. So another video that we put out this last week is, I just have to find it. I've got a little to my stash of stuff over here, so bear with me as I pull this out. But when I was at PRI this year and I was talking with Ben Baker from AFCO Dynatech in Longacre, one thing he was telling me was that if it was his race car, he's going to prefer to have a water pressure gauge rather than a water temperature gauge. And as soon as he was telling me about it, I was like, oh, stop. We've got to film a video, because that is such a great tech tip. A lot of guys have blown motors and they're like, well, my water temperature gauge, it didn't move. I mean, it didn't look like I was getting hot. Well, the thing is that if you do get a hole in your radiator, let's say a big rock comes through your radiator and you lose all the water, the thing with a water temperature gauge is it cannot measure the temperature of steam. However, if you have a water pressure gauge and you go from just having normal water pressure and all of a sudden your gauge is glowing whatever warning color, because I know these gauges have different kinds of warning colors. And this is regardless of what you choose. I'm going to talk about these, but with that water pressure, if you see you're losing water pressure, you know immediately that you need to pull over and pull off the racetrack. Otherwise, you're going to detonate a motor. You're just going to melt it down. So with this, and we really like these new Longacre waterproof gauges, because a lot of my customers are in dirt cars, and you're getting out the pressure washer and you're washing everything down, and that can really damage gauges. But these are fully waterproof. And they come in a couple different ways, so that you can buy it with a sensor, and with the sensor they run $139, or if you already have existing sensors and want to reuse them, then that gauge runs $119. But I just thought that was such a really good tech tip, and go ahead and leave in a comment and let me know if you also think that's a great tech tip and something that or let us know. I mean, do you use a water pressure gauge, or are you in the water temperature gauge kind of a camp? Which of those do you use in your car? Which brings me to, let's talk about what we're going to give away this week. I actually have a couple things, and one of these is going to be a hat from Crate Insider right here. So we'll do that as just a random drawing, and based on the people that are here, and we'll be doing just bring up random number generator, no problem. I'll have a second giveaway to talk about in a second, but the other video that we put out in this last week was we talked about KRC's front drive system. And that's me talking to Cody Haskins from KRC. This is how it comes packaged in this nice KRC box right here. And I should be able to just, yeah, there we go. Open it up. And then we see inside of here, we've got the whole kit with these separate items. So you've got the pulleys, the brackets, or belts, or screws, bolts. All this stuff is in here. So we have a belt and a spare belt, which is handy. You have the one pulley here. You have this nut. I don't know where that goes to, but then you have this bolt kit right here, all the hardware that goes with it, and then of course the part that everybody sees, which is this front drive. And with those cutouts, the reason why they did those cutouts was they wanted to reduce the weight, while at the same time not decreasing the strength. So that was a very effective way of doing that, was just doing those cutouts, and that way you get to lose a lot of the weight and at the same time still have it be very effective. So with that, our second giveaway this week is going to be a power steering, KRC power steering hat, and we'll come up with a way for you guys to win that. So there we go. All right, so let's see here. Okay, I'm just gonna put this aside. But those, I just want to feature those products and talk a little bit about, you know, why we do all of these videos, to really inform everybody and let them know about the products and a little bit more depth than just, wow, it's pretty. You know, there's nothing we really sell. There's nothing we sell at Crate Insider that's an accident. So we definitely choose our products carefully, and I hope those videos help you guys out. So before I jump into the top 5, I'm going to say hi to some folks over here. So I see Joseph and Jonathan and Randall and Mikey, Storm, Brian, KL, he was our winner last week, Rusty, Jerry Steve is here, and Tim and Bill, like so many of you. I'm so grateful that you're all here today. This is fantastic. Let's see, Tim asked, does Longacre offer replacement glass for their gauges? I'm not sure. I haven't, these are brand new gauges, so I haven't heard, I just haven't reached the point where anybody needs any replacement parts, so I'm really not sure about that, for sure. Steve's wishing me a happy birthday. It was my birthday like last week sometime. And let's see, Kale says, yes, something to cover my bald head. That's fun. Let's see. All right, so there we go. All right, well, so let's go ahead and jump in to the top 5 products of this week. And in the number 5 spot, this product is no stranger to Top 5 Tuesday. And of course, one of the most important things, there's always so many things that we always have to check on a race car. But where I've seen certainly some issues or that could be solved very simply is in the electronic system, in the electrical system, I should say. And one solution to that is to go with the Firewire. We love the fast Firewire. I personally love the exterior of these wires and how it's got a heat shield on it, and so they're heat safe up to 400 and something degrees, which is fantastic. It might even be more, but they deliver a really clean spark and get rid of the electronic noise. So there's a lot of, you know, electronic noise that's happening, that's going on, and this blocks it out, so you can just really keep a clean spark going consistently. And spark plug wires are one of those things that you generally want to change each season. So even if you're running a lot of what you had last year, this may be something you take a look at, because you know, it's low hanging fruit. And yeah, these run, I think, $159.99. And so yeah, you're not just gonna like throw money everywhere, but it could definitely be the difference between winning and losing if all of a sudden you have no spark. So definitely take a look at those. We love the fast Firewire, and that's in the number 5 spot. All right, next up in the number 4 spot this week is, well, it's a product we've been selling for a while, but we have a special bonus with it right now. And that would be our Schaefer oil change kit. And we have a bonus going on that when you order a Schaefer oil change kit, that you get one of these cans of Citral. And the Citral is this amazing degreaser, and it smells like oranges. I think it's made from oranges, but this is some hardcore stuff, you guys. This is what I love to use for cleaning my stovetop, to be perfectly honest. Remember, I don't have a race car, so that's the grease that I deal with would be in the kitchen. But Citral works amazing for that. I wouldn't use it like on a painted wall because it'll probably, you know, rip the paint off. It is some hardcore stuff, but incredibly effective, and it doesn't smell bad, so I love that. But then our Schaefer oil change kit comes with 7 quarts of the Schaefer's oil, and you have your oil filter. So this is our Wix 51061R, and it's the filter that we recommend for, you know, 602s or 604s, either of those. And if you need a short style and you want to definitely still get this same bonus, I don't have a oil change kit listed online with the short style oil filter, but you can just give me a call and I'd certainly make that happen for you and make sure you got your bonus can of Citral. And this promotion will just go on for as long as supplies last. So we've got a pretty good pile of Citral to give away, but when we run low, when we run out, we run out. So definitely if you're gonna change your oil and you're interested in that, take advantage of it right now. And that's in the number 4 spot, and the Schaefer oil change kit runs $81.41. Okay, next is, we're gonna go on to the number 3 spot. And in our number 3 spot is our 604 carb spacer from HVH, from High Velocity Heads. This is a 5/8 inch spacer. I know most rules will tell you you can run up to like a 1 inch spacer, and this 5/8 we've just found is that perfect little sweet spot to get the right amount of horsepower gain along with the right amount of torque gain as well without losing on one way or the other. So it's the most effective one we've found for a 604, and it's a 4-hole spacer. I love that. We used to get a lot of questions about which side to put it on, and one little tech tip I learned from HVH is the easy way to know is that if you look at the stickers on the side, if you can read it, then you put it on the right way. But they took it another step farther, and I don't know if we're going to see this on camera, but there we go. They also went ahead and etched in here, so this says carb side, so you know that this is the side the carburetor is going to go on. I don't think, it's kind of redundant. You don't need to put engine side on the other side, because if you just mark one, it totally takes care of it. So the 604 carb spacer from High Velocity Heads, it runs $134, so $134, and that's in the number 3 spot. And next up in the number 2 spot this week is from our friends at Daytona Wand. Last week we were giving away cans of spray lube, which you see on my shelf right there. There's my cans of spray lube hanging out on the shelf. We'll be doing more giveaways with the spray lube in the future. But on our top 5 list this week is the 3060 gear oil. And I believe it's called, yep, there we go. The fastest gear lubes in the world is 3060. And the thing about 3060 is that what we love about it is that it's got the perfect viscosity to keep your gears lubricated without introducing parasitic drag. And parasitic drag is when you have a heavier oil in there, and as your gears are spinning and it's kind of picking that up like centrifugal force, next thing you know, that little gear that you've got is all of a sudden becoming like this big because it has all of that oil sticking to it. And you don't want it to stick. You want the oil to give just enough of a coating in order to, to lubricate, and so that we don't have metal on metal contact. Anytime we have that thicker oil, it's going to create more drag. And that's the thing we're always looking for in crates, is how can we reduce drag? How can we reduce friction so that we can free up more horsepower? So that 3060 gear oil in the gallon, it runs $68.19, and that's in the number 2 spot. And before I go to the top spot here, then let's go ahead and first of all, I'm going to do just a straight up random number drawing based on the number of comments that we have. So definitely drop in some comments, and we'll be doing a random number generator here. And then for the KRC hat, why don't you go ahead and type in KRC power, and let's see, so let's pick the number 7. So the 7th person to comment KRC power will win the KRC hat. So you might want to act fast, because you just never quite know with all this kind of like internet laggy type of thing. And I'm going to bring up my random number generator over here for the Crate Insider hat. See, we picked up quite a few comments, and I've got Alex helping out in the office today, so he's going to help me pick a winner. And there we go. And he's... Okay, so Alex, there's my number for the Crate Insider hat, and he'll let me know in a moment here who our winners are. And we still have one more product to go. Hey Alex, here's some Post-it notes. He'll let me know who the winner is in just a few minutes, but let's talk about our top product. And our top product this week is our Crate Insider Air Filter Base. It is still the best performing base that we've found. It's incredibly popular. I always say this, like, is there really anybody left who doesn't have one of these? And some of the feedback has just been phenomenal, in that no matter what kind of engines these have gone on, people are getting great results with the Crate Insider Flat Air Filter Base. And it does come, we sell it with a seal so that it can go right on top of your carburetor. And the Crate Insider Air Filter Base runs $99.50, and it's in the top spot. So
that's the random number.
The random number winner this week for the Crate Insider hat is Brad Mooring. So Brad, and I'm going to jot down your name here. And Brad, if you would, please send me a private message with your address and I will get your hat sent out to you. And then our winner for the KRC Power Steering hat is Evan Ellis. Evan, congratulations. You guys are both new winners. I haven't, a lot of times I recognize we have a lot of people who come back to Top 5 Tuesday every week. And I, thank you so much for the loyalty. I appreciate it. And it's always neat to see somebody new win. So if you could, both you guys, if you could send me a private message with your address, we'll get that sent out to you. In the meantime, I'm going to take a quick look and see if there are any questions over here that I can answer. And we'll go from there. So let's see. Does Firewire work well with headers? I'm worried about burning plug wires. Actually works great. Yes, because they are heat safe to a really high temperature. You don't have any problem of that. Brandon says I need some of the degreaser. Yes, this Citral, I love it. I use it for lots of things for sure. And he says giving away hindrance secrets. There's a little bit of that. Okay, do you sell the balancer for 602s? I don't. Actually, I don't sell the balancer separately, but I could recommend a couple of GM dealers who would have those for sure. And I love the random comment, Joe, that's hilarious. Let's see, will you be doing the 2020 Hendren Racing Engines 604 recommendations? It's so funny. I was looking at our YouTube channel here just over the weekend and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do the 2020 version of the 604 and the 602 recommendations. So yeah, I don't have it on the calendars as far as exactly when I'll be doing that, but you can count on the fact that we will be doing the 2020 recommendations because they've been letting me do that, so that's pretty cool. Let's see, I've heard if you run a Daytona 1 and their sticker on your car when you win, will they give you a credit? Have you heard this? Mike, go ahead and talk to Daytona 1 directly. They do have what's called Team Daytona 1, and you can contact them directly and they can tell you about the details of their program. They do a really good job of taking care of the racers who want to be out there and promoting them. And then, of course, many of you know that I have, separately from Crate Insider, I have Winning Motorsports Marketing. So if you're interested in learning about getting sponsors and doing marketing and things like that to increase your race team's visibility, definitely let me know. Okay, so let me see what else we got here. Lots of KRC powers, lots of people paying attention, and Bill says that air filter base would look great on a scratch and dent 604. But Bill, we have a running joke for a long time. I don't have a scratch and dent 604, but we do tend to have the scratch and dent air filter bases. Sometimes they get beat up a little bit, and obviously not so bad that can't sell them, but they can get beat up a little bit. So you can get a better deal going into our scratch and dent air filter base section and pick one up there. So that's pretty much everything I have for this week. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Thank you for being part of Top 5 Tuesday, and I will look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Have a great week.